I'm sure that this story is not going to come as a surprise to a lot of people in our audience because you already probably knew the likely truth, but there are some explosive new leaked emails that seem to confirm that yes, Donald Trump personally ordered that aid to Ukraine be frozen until such time that smear investigations into Joe and Hunter Biden were publicly announced by the Ukrainians. And it feels like this is almost a story from years ago. It is from last year, technically, because it is so obvious what we are now learning. But indeed, the leaked emails are communications between the Pentagon and the White House's OMB, Office of Management and Budget. And in the emails, a staffer for the OMB, Mike Duffy, emailed the Pentagon and said, quote, clear direction from POTUS to hold, meaning clear direction from the President of the United States to hold the aid to Ukraine. This is one sentence, which makes it very clear that these are the president's orders. The orders are hold the aid to Ukraine, period. Now, there are many more emails. The other emails don't explicitly repeat that these are Trump's orders, but that's the context, that's the framing, that's the obvious reality that we have suspected for a very long time. This was Trump's call. It was Trump's call all along. People were acting at the direction of Donald Trump. Now, there's other emails that are interesting that have leaked, and we're still going through them. And in another email involving Secretary of Defense Mark Esper's Chief of Staff McCusker. McCusker said in an email when the Pentagon was ordered not to release the aid, McCusker said, "You can't be serious. I am speechless." So the lie that Donald Trump wasn't doing this, wasn't involved, that it wasn't deliberate, those were all just that. They were lies. Let's address another issue that's been sort of wrapped up in this that's important to get to at this point. There's a wing of the left that is starting to implicitly or explicitly excuse Donald Trump's behavior in this Ukraine fiasco by saying, we shouldn't even be arming Ukraine, right? So there's this wing of the left that's saying, we are funding Ukraine's military as a proxy war against Russia, and I don't like that. Okay, this is a lot of people on the left, from this slice of the left, that are saying this. Some of the people saying this are part of the revolutionary left, as we've decided to non-pejoratively refer to it. Others are merely contrarians. Okay, let me see if I can be sort of clear here in how I say this. You can be against the foreign policy decision to give Ukraine money for weapons. You can be against what Ukraine is doing with the weapons. I don't care. That's fine. That's legitimate political discussion. It does not change the corruption and bribery of the Trump administration using the military aid as a way to strong-arm Ukraine into publicly announcing smear investigations into Joe and Hunter Biden for the benefit of Donald Trump's 2020 reelection. I'm fine discussing whether we should be arming Ukraine or Saudi Arabia or Israel or any country. Those are perfectly reasonable political discussions. But much like I'm fine discussing whether Hunter Biden's board position on the Ukrainian gas company is appropriate, those are not actually the issues here. And it is serving as a really great way to enable Donald Trump's behavior, to implicitly defend Donald Trump's behavior, to help Donald Trump avoid consequences, to split the left about impeachment. We shouldn't participate in that, period. So I respect the position. I respect the debate about who should the United States provide military aid to? Who should we be arming? What about supposed proxy wars that the United States has waged for decades? I mean, look at Latin America. There's so many different examples. These are legitimate discussions. I have no interest in shutting down those discussions. But where the slice of the left goes too far is when they play directly into the goals of the Trumpists, which are to muddy the waters and to make the issue of Trump's corruption and bribery about something else, to make it an adjudication of Ukraine versus Russia, to make it about Joe Biden, to make it about Hunter Biden. It's going to get Trump reelected if it takes hold, and we don't want to do that. Now, to go back to the leaked, or I don't think we do. Maybe there are some on the revolutionary left who do want that, who are saying if it's not going to be whoever they want. They almost would rather it be Trump, part of this break it all down to build it back up mentality. I don't subscribe to that. I know that there are some people who do. Let's get back to the emails. The White House knew these emails were damaging to their narrative, and the White House blocked these documents from being turned over to the House for their impeachment inquiry. Once again, it's not hugely surprising. And this, of course, throws a wrench into Mitch McConnell's plans. Mitch McConnell was hoping to keep these documents out of the eventual Senate impeachment trial. Now that they've leaked, now that we know that they exist, I don't know how you justify keeping them out of the trial. We'll see if McConnell is able to come up with something. Once again, if we want this guy held accountable, we're going to have to vote him out in 10 months. It is not looking like there is going to be any other path to holding him accountable, even being impeached. We can't count on the Senate. We're going to have to vote him out in November of 2020. And the fundraising around November of 2020 is what I want to talk about next. So you're someone who enjoys thinking about politics, you love learning about countless other topics, but you just don't have enough time in your week to read or listen to all the books you've been meaning to get to. Blinkist is an app that will completely transform the way that you absorb information and ideas, because what they do is take thousands of nonfiction books, extract the most important insights and information, and then present each book to you as text or audio, which you can consume in just 15 minutes. Imagine how well-rounded you will become once you have the ability to read 5 books in one sitting or listen to a new book on your commute every day. Obviously, we should read the full versions of books whenever we can. It's what I try to do. But it is a reality that there's a whole world of books out there that you will never get to, but Blinkist will help you get to more. I just finished listening to Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow. Super interesting book, probably already familiar to some in my audience, and a really interesting take at how Harvey Weinstein and his alleged transgressions were brought to light. Excellent investigative piece. You'll be able to have conversations with people about totally new topics. You can feed your curiosity in ways that you've never been able to before. And the best part is it's only about $8 a month, which gives you unlimited access to every single book in their catalog. They have books on politics, economics, philosophy, science, you name it. You can try it out yourself, totally free for a week, and get 25% off if you decide to subscribe just by going to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.